Now at 4, cuts to Medicaid and Affordable Care Act subsidies are impacting thousands of Georgians.
Some are now paying hundreds of dollars more a month for the same level of care. Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Bimefor is live at the state capitol with how lawmakers say health care can be made more affordable. Chelsea.
Well, guys, like most issues, Georgia Republicans and Democrats have different opinions on affordable health care. Democrats want federal funding restored, while Republicans tell us that more competition could lead to lower prices.
I should not have to make a choice between living, paying my rent, or having good health.
Pamela Blackstone is a single grandmother working to raise her autistic grandson while making less than $25,000 a year. She relied on the Affordable Care Act for health insurance, but says now the premiums are nearly impossible to pay.
Obamacare jumped from $80 to $412.
The cost skyrocketed at the beginning of the year when ACA tax credits expired and federal cuts were made to Medicaid following President Trump's signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
The pain that is being felt is heart-wrenching.
Democratic Georgia Congressman Hank Johnson visited MedCura Health Clinic in DeKalb County this week to visit with constituents like Blackstone and listen to their concerns.
It's going to be bad until we can reverse those cuts.
Johnson's office reports Georgia is facing up to $8 billion in federal funding cuts to Medicaid over the next decade, and more than 200,000 Georgians could lose coverage.
Definitely motivating for me to want to go back to Washington, D.C. and fight on their behalf. It's really a tragedy that Congress cares more about giving hundreds of $billions more to ICE and Customs and Border Protection, while at the same time depriving citizens who need Obamacare tax credits.
On the flip side, Republican Congressman Buddy Carter says health care subsidies are not the answer. He tells Atlanta News First that creating more competition in the health insurance industry is what will lower prices.
President Trump is on the right track here. He has proposed stop sending the money to the insurance companies, start sending it to the individuals in the way of health savings accounts, and let them create a competitive marketplace where the insurance companies compete against each other. That's the way we're going to bring prices down, is competition.
Georgia Democrats also say that the health care cuts could lead to the closure of some rural health care services, also cause reduced access to care and higher co-pays. Reporting live from the state capitol, Chelsea Bimefor, Atlanta News First.